Hey, I'm Andy Jenkins. 2 years ago, I was aging way too fast. I was overworked, stressed out, all kinds of just bodily symptoms. In fact, I've told some of you, I didn't even realize how sick I was until I actually got to feel well, and then just kind of looked back in the rearview mirror of everything and couldn't believe where I would come from. I had sleepless nights. I remember waking up to use the restroom sometimes 2 and 3 times in the middle of the evening. And when I would get up, I would walk and just kind of balance myself along the edge of the bed. My wife actually would say, because I was waking her up by snoring, she would actually say that she had a snapshot of what I would look like when I was 60 to 70 years old. And at that point, I'd actually barely even turned 40, just a few weeks prior. I think that the weight of, in my past life, of leading a church, leading a nonprofit where we help people coming off drugs, off the streets, out of prison, human trafficking, homelessness, addictions, all kinds of things like that. I think the weight of doing all of that, combined with letting my health go early on, it had really just created a situation that for me was untenable. Now, if you read in the New Testament, if you read in 3 John 2, it's just one chapter for that whole book. So 3 John 2, the Apostle John, he's older in life and he's writing to a church and he says something like this. He says, I pray that it goes well with you. Okay, this is my translation of his words. I pray that it goes well with you and that you, now catch this, that you prosper in all things and that you be in good health just as your soul prospers. Like he really thought that when Christ came that there was going to be this abundant life because Jesus told him that and he had actually experienced it, and that they were going to prosper in everything. Everything. Work, relationships, the job, finances. They were going to prosper in all things, and they were going to be, now catch that, I hadn't gotten it, they were going to be in good health, even to the degree that their soul was prospering. Now for me, wow, I had completely missed the mark. Christy won this trip to Hawaii. And when we were in Hawaii, we had this time to really reconnect as a couple. We were walking along the beaches together without being rushed back to the room to check on kids or feed babies. We've got 9 kids at our house, and life can be just really, really busy. We were able to really just talk on a level that we were not able to talk when we're just kind of going through the normal hustle of a week. In fact, many weeks, even now, I just remember we'd sit on our bed. I'd be on my side, she'd kind of be on our side. Maybe we're reading or just kind of chit-chatting or paying bills online. We were at the time financially just strapped, stressed, transferring money right back out of savings that we'd put in because you're supposed to at the beginning of the month. And I remember many times just kind of looking and thinking, golly, it's already, usually looking at the calendar on my phone to see what we had for the next day. It's already Thursday. And it was this season where the weeks seemed really, really short while the days were seeming really, really long. And finally, we're out of that. And we get this pause button. And on that pause button of life, we really were able to talk through a lot of decisions business-wise and reconnect. We were able to talk through some things spiritually and reconnect, reboot. We were also able to talk about some things physically that were going on really with me. Now, here's how it happened. We had this full-length mirror in our bathroom in Hawaii. And I remember getting out of the shower one day, and I actually saw myself full-length in a mirror. I mean, if you want a wake-up call, just go look at yourself naked in a full-length mirror. And I remember calling to her to the next room. I was just kind of standing there. I said, hey, I've actually gained a little bit of weight. I need to lose some weight, don't I? And for the first time in a long time, she actually said, I really hadn't answered that question before, but she actually said, yeah, you do. And she was really nice about it. But so I remember I was ready to hear it because I brought up the topic. I remember kind of raising it in 5-pound increments. So how much do you think I need to lose? 5 pounds, 10 pounds? And she goes, maybe a little more, 10, 15, just which she says, more, to which I kind of go up in 5-pound increments, 20, 25, 30. Finally, we settled on at least 30 or 35 pounds is what she said. And so I made this goal. And I made this goal that I was going to lose 2.5 to 3 pounds a week for the next several weeks, for the next 3 months. And I was going to get down to what I thought would be really my ideal weight. That was all I was trying to do. I was not trying to get healthy. I was actually just trying to lose weight, and ended up losing and keeping off for 2 years now 50 pounds. In the introduction, I told you that 2 years ago, I was really in horrible shape. I had low energy levels, I couldn't sleep through the night, I could crash ironically anytime during the day. I had digestive issues, I had blood in my stool every time that I used the bathroom, number 2. It's a lot of information, maybe more than what you wanted to hear, but it's just the reality of where I was at, and maybe you can relate to having diarrhea every single day, which is really not normal. I had shortness of breath, even though I could at any time go run 6 or 8 miles. It was odd because I could exercise and do quite well, but I could never really get the weight to come off. My bones would creak at night when I got up in the middle of the evening, and I tell you this, I was actually aging really, really fast until I made the decision to walk in Therapuo, not even knowing at the time what I was actually doing. I was just trying to lose some weight because I looked really big. Remember that faith chart where I showed you earlier in the book? That last category, we walked through full faith, no faith, total faith, partial faith. And at the bottom, you know, I said sometimes backed up by other people's faith, not even your own. And then there's this category that says sometimes backed up by action. That's what I saw in my life. As I began taking action and choosing to lose weight, I actually started walking some things out and saw immediate changes. Instantly, I was able to sleep through the night. Instantly, the digestive issues, all of them were totally gone. There were other things that happened and happened over time. My energy levels increased steadily and continued increasing steadily. Don't get me wrong, I can crash at any time during the day, but right now I can choose when that happens, if you know what I mean. I got stronger and more physically fit over time. My thinking over time became sharper, became more deeper, richer, fuller. I was able to put together and process ideas in a whole different level of a way. My muscle and joint pain, it diminished pretty quickly, and then steadily it kept on declining until it was totally gone. In other words, in my own life, what I saw was Iomai and Therapuo. They both happened as I started walking out a lifestyle of health and wholeness.